Hello and a very good evening and welcome to the Hampden Netball Show, week 2 of the Fresher Fruit Juice Final Series. And don't forget, this show is brought to you by our major partners of the Hampden Football Netball League in Powercor, Sungold Milk, Lyndoch Living and McDonald's, 4 great major sponsors of the Hampden Football Netball League. As I welcome Trish Butters. Trish, what a week 1 of finals we had. Crowds were great, finals games were outstanding. What a great way to start.
Absolutely, weather was super. We couldn't have asked for a better start, to be honest. Yeah, really close games and really good contested games. So, and we didn't know who the winner was till the end. The Saturday game was a little bit more of a blowout than I thought, but yeah, I think they'll bounce back correct this week.
Absolutely. Hey, we've got 2 great guests and they feature in our second semi-final. Winner goes through to the 2022 Hampden Netball League Grand Final, so plenty to play for. South Warrnambool will take you on the Compton Bombers. We're going to go to the Roosters first and foremost and catch up with one of their star youngsters in Ali Malbom. Ali, thanks for jumping on and having a chat.
Thanks for having me.
Hey Ali, exciting times. All the home and away season stuff has been done and dusted. You've had the week off. How's the team set for this weekend's second semi-final?
Yeah, really good. We're really excited. We know it's going to be a hard game. So we've been just working hard at training and getting down those fine little moments.
Ellie, this is your first full season in Open, I believe. Last year you were away down at school and came back and played a few games. Can you tell us about your journey to get to this point this weekend?
Yeah, it's been really exciting. I've been off at boarding school last year and the year before at Wesley College in Melbourne. So that was full on up there. I was playing with Wesley College and BNL up there as well. So it's been really good just to be home this year with South.
Yeah. So are you doing a gap year, Ali, and heading off next year?
Yeah, I'm at St John's Primary School this year, which has been really, really good.
I love it. Another one of those great school trainees. There's so many great ones about.
Super.
Hey, Ali, tell us a bit about the team. Like, you look at the list profile, you're not big in age. Like, I think Carly Watson and Annie Blackburn are probably 2 of your oldest players. But just the youngsters just seem a lot more mature than their years, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. I think it is. It's such a young team and we're just playing the game, fulfilling our roles and working really well together, which has been awesome this year.
Ali, I noticed you've made a big step, I believe, this year to what I've seen in the past, and I'm assuming that the work that you've done down in Melbourne and at VNL. So, who have been the influences on your career so far? And you've had a super season. So, how do you think that's come about?
Yeah, definitely. The coaches up in Melbourne were amazing. Just like the training and the girls that you're playing with up there are amazing. And having Will as a coach this year, just with his experience and his knowledge it's been great.
Hey, let's look at this weekend's game. You take on the Compton Bombers. You guys won first time around. The Bombers got the job the second time around. Who do you see you playing on and the role you play? And geez, they're a good side, aren't they, the Compton Bombers?
Yeah, it'll be a good game. It's going to be a hard game and we know that it's going to be hard. It's just keeping a calm and composed game, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's I'm just thinking, it's going to be won or lost up your end, I believe, to be honest. I think, it's going to be a real battle with Compton's defence and your attack. And you'll be playing on, it's gone from my brain. Oh, gosh. Sorry, I've got my little notes here. I've got all my notes here.
Molly Hart, Emily Finch.
I've got you against, this will be a big matchup, you against Emily Finch. How have you gone against her in the past, or have you played on her in the past?
Yeah, she's definitely tough. It's just working around and trying to keep that drop ball or front ball.
Yeah, because a lot of the other shooters are quite tall, and Emily, she's sort of an average height, I guess, so it's a different style of play to what you've used to, I guess.
Yeah, she's a really strong player. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited. It's going to be a good matchup.
Cool.
Hey, Ali, you've had a great season to date. I know the team's really invested in trying to do their best in this final series. We wish you all the very best of luck this weekend, and we look forward to seeing what the Roosters can produce over the next couple of weeks.
Thank you so much for having me.
Ali
Thanks, Ali.
Malbom,
Good luck.
a great defender for the South Warrnambool Roosters. I reckon the influence of Carly Watson would be highly, important with her development too, because Carly's a smart player.
Yeah, exactly, and she'd be helping her out down there in the ring. And she's a beautiful, clean player, Ellie.
Yep.
Very hard to beat.
Hey, let's go to the Compton Bombers side of things and catching up with their new recruit this year. We've seen her in the Seagulls colours of previous seasons when she's played Hampden Netball, but she's having a year at the Compton Bombers and she's had a great year to date. And I'll speak to Sarah Moroney. Sarah, thanks for jumping on and having a chat.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, great to catch up with you, buddy. It was nice to see you at the awards night the other night. And before we sort of talk about the Compton Bombers, you must love presenting the Rebecca Moroney Award at the junior presentation nights. I know Mum and Dad, love being there as well when they're there. It must be a special thing that you guys can do to remember the legacy and the person that Rebecca was. She just loved her netball.
Yeah, it's just an honour every year. We're so grateful for the league having that award named after Beck, and yeah, it is a special award for us. It's often been a defender that's won it. So it was nice to see Lara up there again, another defender. So, yeah, it's a real honour for our family, and we're thrilled to see it carry on, and see Beck's name around still. So, yeah, it's great.
I didn't look back through the history, but I know I had a chat to Mick one other night, and I think, I would think, I don't know how many years has it been the award now, Sarah?
So 8 minus the COVID years, I guess. But then I think the first 5 maybe were all defenders.
All goal
There's Ali
defences.
O'Connor in there, Jen O'Connor, Carly, Emily Kermeen.
Yeah.
There was Maloney maybe in there.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think very few years has it been a goalie.
Jeez, I'm impressed with the remembering every year.
I think she's looked at a history.
I want you for Hampden League quiz time, Sarah. That's impressive.
We remember them. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic that you're back in the Hampden League. As I said, we're used to seeing you in the Seagull colours, but you must have had a great year at the Compton Bombers and enjoyed your time at Bomberland.
Yeah, I've absolutely loved it. The girls have just been welcoming since the start, the first training, and really fitted in well. Good social side, and the trainings have been amazing, and just the game days. I've been loving it. They've all been amazing at Cobden.
I know they were pretty happy when you rocked up to training.
Well, wouldn't you be?
I remember the first person we interviewed, was it Sophie? And they said when Sarah Moroney rocked up to training and said, "Can I get a game?" And yeah, sure can. And so now you're part of. I've got you down as the threesome down in the back line. You, Rem, Nadine. You're a pretty awesome defensive line there. It's, how's it going playing in that triangle? I think it'd be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's so good to play with both Nads and Rem. It took us a little while, I think, to figure out our combinations, and I think I like that we don't have a set combination. We're still quite versatile, and throughout the year, Soph played us through all 3, with also Lara coming in through wing defence throughout the season. So, and also Alicia Blaine popping back every now and then to wing defence. It's been really good, quite versatile to try and suit the matchups that we've got. And it's exciting. They're great.
Yeah, you certainly have got, the best defence in the league, I would say. When you talk about the 3 of you and then Lara coming in and Alicia Blaine as well, having that depth of 5 people, you've got lots of different options you can try out, and I love that swaps up every so often, and it doesn't matter who you come up against, you've got another option you can try. I think that's a real strength of Compton, to be honest. Yeah,
absolutely. We've been doing lots of work throughout the year on different combinations, and it's working well. So hopefully it just all pays off in the next few weeks.
Hey Sarah, so one final down, a really strong hit out against the Koroit Saints on Saturday. You take on the Roosters, and you've got a nice little rivalry with the Roosters. Obviously they got game 1, you guys got the second time around. You must be looking forward to just having a really good hit out against a very good young netball side.
Oh, they're incredible, South. Very excited to play this weekend against them. Both last time we played, there's a few ins and outs, and it's going to be a great contest. We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Hey, we really appreciate your time. It's great to have you on the show now. I remember texting the other night, and she thought she was a veiny. She goes,
No.
"Oh, I hadn't had a message yet," so she might have thought she got through, skimmed through, not having to chat with us on the Hampden League show. But hey, Sarah, great to have you back in the comp, buddy. You're a beautiful netball player, and we're looking forward to seeing you go about your craft on Saturday against the Roosters.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Sarah Moroney from the Compton Bombers, a really lovely girl who's been a great netballer for a long time.
Oh, it has, and she's been a great defender in our league for a very long time. So it's great to have her back in the league.
Great family too. When the girls were at Port Fairy, Mick and family and so forth, they were heavily invested. Like just a great football and netball family.
Yeah. And they're there every week.
Yep.
They travel down to Compton,
wherever
they have to be. They're there.
Yeah, love it.
Nice.
Fantastic. So. Hey, what a great couple of finals coming up. Now, I know we've got the highlights from last weekend. We'll go through those. So the first game we'll look at is our qualifying final. It was the Compton Bombers taking on Koroit. And, the Koroit Saints just falling short here by 14. A good strong start by the Bombers, Trish, 14-9 at quarter time, and they just sort of maintained that consistency throughout the rest of the game. Yeah,
they were much more settled, and I thought Molly Hutt was a standout, and she was the Miss Kip best on court on the day, named by the umpires. And it was interesting she wasn't named in their best, and I think that was indicative of the game. I think they were pretty much winning all over the court. Not saying Croydon were there, it was just I felt Cobden had all the answers to everything that Croydon threw at them. We know Croydon were a little bit, had a few people out. They missed Molly McKinnon in defence. So that they were a bit short on rotations, to be honest, whereas Cobden were at full strength. And when Lara Taylor came into the centre, my gosh, did she turn it on. And, for a young girl, and as indicated by winning the Rebecca Moroney medal the other night, she's a player of the future. And she's one of those deceiving players. She looks like she's just jogging along, but she's got great elevation and really great judgment down through the mid-court there. So played a great game. So it was her, Molly Hutt, and can't forget Rem McCann up on playing on Nell. We know if you're going to beat Croydon, you've got to take Nell out of the equation, and I don't think I've seen Nell miss so many goals. So she won't be off again. That doesn't happen 2 weeks in a row. So we've moved on to the next one. We better get going.
We better get going. So, hey, North Warrnambool will take on the Warrnambool Blues. It was elimination final, and what a great game. It was the Eagles by 6. I reckon the story of the day for mine was the shooting of Sky Billings, who's been super form, and I'm thinking Doc Jenkins medal if she can compile well. Eva Ryan, 35 goals. Amy Warrnambool, 5, coming off the back of a really big performance in the Big V basketball grand final the night before. But gee, Eva Ryan, she's going to be a lovely player to watch.
Second open game, playing first senior final, and to play like that. And she was up against Rach Batten, who's a really good defender.
Yep.
It was one of those sort of weird games. It went from quarter to quarter. Warrnambool won the first quarter.
Yep.
North came back, were in front. Warrnambool won the third quarter, and then North came back in the last quarter.
Was there a distinctive end where the wind just caused a little bit of havoc there? Because usually when you're talking footy, there's always that one end that sort of is more of a goal-scoring end.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of swirly at one end. It sort of cuts through the gap there. But I don't know whether it was that, but it just seemed to be who was going to make the least mistakes in different quarters. And I thought probably Amy wasn't at her Amy best.
She's just come off a big night the night before, coming back from Melbourne. Like, it's a big commitment, and I commend her for just doing that.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. Like, for her to only throw 5 goals, and honestly, she was the feeder, and she fed Eva. But normally you would see Amy doing a lot more mid-court than she did, but the one we can't go past, and she was the Miss Kit best on court, was Madison Vardy.
Yeah, right.
When the game was to be won,
good
Maddie
player.
was there.
Yeah, good player.
Second quarter took 2 or 3 intercepts through the centre court. There, the turnovers put North back in front. Exactly the same again in the last quarter. So she was very clean and fast. When she decides to make a transition down the court, she's very hard to stop. So between her and Sky, they were really much standouts for North. And then Kim Wines, who came and played in goal defence against Amy, gave it a lot away in height and stepped up from Div 1 and did a really good job.
Fantastic.
Made Amy accountable up around the court, as I said. You know, Amy usually does a lot of feeding up around there, but Kim gave away a lot in height, but made Amy play for everything. So,
fantastic.
It was a good game. It was an up and down game. It was an interesting game. It'll be whoever can hold their head. As I said last week, whoever, it's above the shoulders at this stage of the year.
Oh, terrific. You know, all the work's been done. So it's the mind. It's all about the mind, isn't it? So 2 great finals. The crowds were enormous, at both netball games. At the venues, it was enormous. And
the venues were beautiful.
From the league perspective, you guys were doing absolutely wrapped. We haven't had finals since 2019. To see the crowds that were coming in. And I was just saying to Maddie in the footy show previously, the viewership we had for the football broadcast for people that couldn't get there was enormous as well. So people that don't think local footy's going well, Hampden League's going all right.
Absolutely. And I know, I was just saying to Gary today in the car, when I go live in the last quarter, barely put it up, you know, people come bang, 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 bang in, you know, and I'm watching that game, and there's a variety. There's young guys watching it, there's older people watching it, there's other netballs, there's people at home. It's got a really interest. I'd like to do the whole game, but my battery doesn't last that long. And as you might notice, if anyone's watching it, I do start game watching a few times and I forget to move the thing. But
you need to get yourself like a little...
I have. I got the tripod on the week. No, I got the tripod, but you've got to still control it.
That's right.
I need a swivel camera. That's what I need. But, look, and the 2 clubs that hosted the games on the weekend, we could not fault them. You know, everything was super.
Fantastic.
We walked in, everything was done, and they couldn't have done enough for us. So well done to those 2 clubs.
So that leads us to week 2 of the Fresher Fruit Juice Final Series, second semi-final, Saturday afternoon, Friendly Societies Park. Our second semi-final winner goes through to the grand final. Our first grand finalist for 2022. South Warrnambool will take in the Compton Bombers. You can't get any more mouth-watering than that.
Cannot.
They've been the 2 best sides all season, and they're going to fight off for a grand final spot.
Yeah, and as I said, I think, you know, the best defensive team up against the best attacking team. So, that is going to be a massive game up just at that end of the court on its own. And this is why I'm thinking, you know, what happens on the other end of the court is going to have a really big impact because they're going to be going for it up one end.
So who do you see? So who plays on Holly Phillips?
I've got my little notes down here.
Who's your matchups for that game?
Yeah.
You know?
So Holly Phillips will be on. I think it'll be Rem McCann. After seeing her play on Mel.
And Rem's got versatility, height. Yeah, she can play the ground ball.
She's got this really good vertical leap with her outside arm, and she goes hunting, that's what I call it, go hunting. So she's always on the lookout for the loose ball. So she will miss a few and it'll get in there, but it won't be easy for Holly. It'll be a tough game. She played with her down in Melbourne, so she'll know what it's like. But I think that'll be the best matchup. I think if that doesn't work, I think Sarah Moroney would be the person I'd put in there. So
that would say Nadine stays back and plays on an Annie Blackburn goal defence?
Well, if they start the way they started last week, it would be Rem back, Nadine in goal defence and Sarah in wing defence. And then they swapped it around at half-time, which made a big difference. So as I said, they've got lots of versatility in there. They can try all sorts of things. But at the other end of the court, then you've got Carly Watson or Molly Hart. That'll be a great contest.
2 great players.
2 great players.
Hasn't Molly Hart had a great year?
She's had a super year.
Beautiful player.
I think she started off a little bit slow, but she's really built into it.
I think when Emily went out for a few weeks and then she took the number 1 mantle, I think that was the making of her this year. And then she's maintained that throughout the course of the year.
Looking, she threw more goals than Emily. She threw 27, Emily 26. Now that doesn't happen very often either.
But you like the balance though too, because you're not relying on one. You get that nice balance.
The thing with both those girls, they can shoot from anywhere. There's not many goalies can do that. They don't have to be under the ring. They are beautiful shots. So that will be a really great contest. And then, got Ellie against Emily Finch, which I think is an unusual matchup because you've got the height against a moving goalie. And that'll be tricky for Ellie, but obviously they'll be thought about that. We'll be all onto that and be training on that. So.
And I see you got Meg Carlson name in there as well. She's had a great year. She's really been given a big opportunity.
She's been killing it.
Midcourt and has not disappointed Lisa and Will.
Absolutely. So, who goes through their midcourt? Sophie Blaine's had a magnificent year for them. Very fit, very hard for people to keep on. Alicia Blaine and Lara Taylor between those. So, like, it's just started writing them down. I thought, I've got every player on my list. You know, it's just matchups after matchup right over the court there. So it'll be the team that makes the least mistakes, and of course that makes sense, but I think that's where it'll come down to. Who's going to say?
So who's that team that's going to make the least mistakes? Who do you favour?
Do you know what? I think it's Compton.
Yeah, right.
Because I think they've been there. They've had a bit of experience. They've been already out in the court. They've won a tough one last weekend. South haven't been in the finals for a while. It'll be interesting to see. But I'm just going to go Compton with experience for this weekend. I think South might need another game.
I'm staying on South. I love the Roosters. I think the way they've gone all the years.
Well, we're on South. You know, I picked South for the grand final, but for the premiership.
So I think the Roosters, but it's going to be. I think it'll be a game that's 5 goals or less.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it'll be
gonna
goal
be
for goal. To be honest, I'm going to go Compton. So just throw a spanner in the works.
I love it. Hey, Sunday we go down to the Compton Rec Reserve. North Warrnambool will take on Croydon in the first semi-final. Loser finishes their season. Winner goes to a prelim. It takes on either the loser of South Warrnambool and Compton. Interesting one, this one, because there's a few variables. The Croydon Saints, they obviously got a couple of mermaids. They play Saturday night. They win game 2. Those girls potentially are available if they're not celebrating too hard. Their championship win for the Sunday. If they lose the Mermaids, they back up and play game 3 on Sunday, meaning that Mia Mills, Molly McKinnon probably aren't available.
That's it.
So does that make a difference? Obviously, because we know that Croydon love having that bit of depth, but in saying that, they're 7 they've got on the court are pretty good.
They are good, but it changes your rotation.
Because the pace of the game of final.
And you haven't got other options that you can. If something's not working, you haven't got. They're used to being able to swap players in and out at will. And you lose that a little bit. So it does affect them. Molly McKinnon's a great player to have out. Beautiful defender. So she's a big player to have out. So you're relying on Layla puts a big responsibility back on Layla's shoulders.
And it probably puts a bit more on Casey as well,
And on Casey, It's so they haven't got that other defensive option really. Yeah. Just trying to think. Haven't got anyone else to go in there. If something they could just swap goal shooter, goalkeeper, goal defence, but they haven't got that other person that could come on.
Yeah, they haven't got that triangle like you were saying before.
Well, 5, Cobden, so, that will be interesting. In saying that, North is the same, they are...
Well, you lose to Jordan Billings, that's a big hole to fill as well.
It is a lot. So, but they've got a lot of juniors sitting there on the bench that are quite capable. Not young juniors, like Croydon had a lot of juniors on their bench, but we're talking 13s, 15s. North of their 17s, their next level one. So, it will be interesting.
It will be. Who do you
Nell
like
Mitchell,
in this one?
Rachel Batten, that'll be a big... That will,
that's a crucial one.
Crucial, absolutely crucial. And the other one is who's placed on Sky Billings, which I think would be Casey Barling.
Yep.
Will she keep up with her? I don't know.
Yep. Maddie Vardy playing some nice netball.
Maddie Vardy versus Emily Rose Dobson, I assume, to start with.
Emily Rose, smart
then you've got
player.
Belle Baker could come in. You've got Millie Jennings could come in. There you've got those options. But I think if the Mermaids are playing on Sunday and not available, I think North. I probably think North anyway.
Yep.
Oh, that's a big comment, isn't it? North capable of winning it.
Yeah,
it just depends on, how they go on the day. I keep saying it's above the shoulders. It's in their head whether they can do it.
Hey, there's nothing between the two sides.
Well, but they're very different.
Yeah.
Very different style of netball.
Yeah.
So Croydon are safe netballers. They play the short, sharp, safe game. Will work it in until they get the right pass. North, the opposite to that. Yeah. It's dynamic, down the court. Could go out the back court, could throw through the back court, or it could hit someone and in the goal. They're so different.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that I'm going Croydon.
You've been on Croydon all year. You can't jump off them.
I've been a big advocate for Croydon all year. I love Kate Dobbs and stuff on that side, and I love the way Millie Jennings goes about it. She's really emerged as a really nice player, and you're not going to keep Nell Mitchell quiet 2 weeks in a row.
No, that's what I said. Yeah. She was off last week, and I haven't seen her off like that. So
you're not going to keep her quiet.
No,
she's going to carry
Rach Batten's got a big job.
Team defence is going to be important that time.
Yeah, for sure.
Too.
Yeah.
Hey, so 2 cracker finals in the Hampden League
And we've
netball.
gone for different things.
Yeah,
So one of us will be right.
I like that because you look at both games.
Well, it could. It
could go either way, and there's going
to
to be no surprises.
No.
Because Koroit's best is as good as North
No.
Warrnambool's best. North Warrnambool's best can be as good as Koroit's. And
They
the
all
same as
deserve
South.
to win.
They do.
You know,
They're all great netball
They're all
clubs.
great clubs and
So,
great players. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, and this is a shout out too, and I reckon this is a great story. So Koroit have blooded Shelby O'Sullivan, Indy O'Connor, who are 12 and 13-year-olds.
Yes.
And the girls come out and won the league best and fairest in the juniors during the week, which I reckon was terrific. So big shout out to those girls. I reckon it's great that Koroit given that opportunity for those girls to play.
we see the strength of their juniors come out the other night. You know, they cleaned up.
Hey, and so did Compton.
And Compton.
Compton had a great...
Those two clubs you can see, you know.
Amazing.
A lot of good juniors coming through.
Hey, we could talk...
And Camperdown.
Yeah, Camperdown's great as well.
And we keep talking about them. You know, that 17 group. Other big game last weekend we can't go without talking about is that 17 games.
Yes.
There are 2 games. There was Cobden and Camperdown.
Yep.
Yes?
Yep.
One or two goals in it.
Yep.
All day.
Cobden won that one, didn't they?
Yeah, by goal. And then South and Hamilton, 1 goal in it.
Yeah.
And Hamilton won that.
That's been a hot competition all year.
Absolutely. And that's it. They're our next level of open netballers. And
I've still said it and
pretty
I'll say it again. Camperdown's list for next year for a coach would be a good one to get.
Absolutely.
Hey, we could talk netball for another hour or two because there's so much going on.
But we won't.
Now, homework for next week for you. We are going to do a Dot Jenkins medal preview because obviously the Maskell medal, Dot Jenkins medal day is Sunday week, the 11th of September. So some homework. I want, a couple of live chances.
2 more stats, not like a piece of paper like this.
A couple of smokies. That's the homework for next week because we'll have a heavy discussion about that. We'll look at the prelim final. And then, obviously, the week after, it's grand final time in the Hampden Football Netball League. So 3 weeks to go. Let's get to the football and netball this weekend. Cobden on Sunday, South Warrnambool on Saturday. They're the venues. Big crowds. Hampden League football and netball is certainly alive. We'll see you next Wednesday night.